Welcome to the Rob, Comrade, and Kale Show. Rob Sanders.
I don't care. My jokes don't go over. I don't care.
Comrade Mike Dobreski.
I don't care. We hate you. I don't care.
And Kale Hall.
This is stupid. Making noises on the show. You're like a crazy person. Why do you do this to your father and I?
The Rob, Comrade, and Kale podcast.
And welcome in to the Rob, Comrade, and Kale podcast. My name is Rob Sanders. I represent the Clemson Tigers on this podcast. I have a couple of co-hosts. One of them is already in the mix. He is my friend and your friend. He is, of course, Kale Hall. Kale, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you, Robert. Glad to be here. It's great to be here. One day closer to college football season. We're like a week and a half away from the ACC kicking off. We got some games this weekend, too, and next Monday night. Not a lot of big-time marquee matchups, but at least a little something more exciting than what we had last weekend. So looking real forward to that.
I'm looking forward to it too, and it's going to be, as we get closer to college football season, we've got a ton of great things we're going to get into this evening. Of course, we also have a third member of our podcast who should be joining us momentarily. He is, of course, the comrade Mike Dobreski. We'll get him in just a moment. We're going to talk about Jamie Newman tonight. Hello, my son. What do you want?
A drink.
All right, well, go get some drink from Mom. All right, there we go. As I'm parenting and podcasting at the same time.
You want some Kool-Aid?
Yeah, Kale wants to know if he wants Kool-Aid. That's funny. All right, well, we're going to talk some college football tonight. Of course, we've got a lot of that to get into. I wanted to play, and you know what? I'm going to go ahead and play this now. I had Crazy Uncle Lou on the show today with me on my Fox Sports radio show, which, by the way, if you're following us here, you should check out that show because I have great folks on all the time. I want to play just a clip from Uncle Lou as we were talking about the big decision made by Georgia quarterback Jamie Newman, who is now will probably never take a freaking snap for them.
What's up, Snake Doctor 5? What is up, Gwen Weber?
Gwen Weber, there we go. Well, before we do that piece there with our good friend of the program, Uncle Lou, we have to welcome in the comrade. Comrade, good evening, sir. It's great to have you with us.
Good evening. Good evening. It's great to be here. I always opt in. I never opt out. I am here. I am here a little bit late. Had a little computer restarting issue, but we're here. We are here. My hair is looking glorious. Good Lord, I need a haircut. Who wants to cut some hair? I'll pay you $10. Come cut them up. But still looking good.
I'll bob your head with an axe. How's that sound?
I'm looking like David Hasselhoff after he's been drunk.
After he's been drunk. Hilarious.
Don't hassle the Hoff.
Oh, God.
What's up, Gwen? What's going on, buddy?
We forgot, like, I guess we have like 3 1/4 hosts right now. Of course, Virtual Kale, which, by the way, people love Virtual Kale. In fact, they like Virtual Kale better than regular Kale is what I'm hearing. Virtual Kale, good evening, sir.
What's going on, motherfuckers?
Great to have you with us, man. Appreciate you joining the show tonight. And, you know, we got to get your opinion later on about Jamie Newman transferring. You know, it's kind of a big deal. Would you agree?
Fuck him. I don't ever want to see the motherfucker again.
Oh, well, who knew that Virtual Kale liked the Georgia Bulldogs? Amazing. Well, anyway, I'm going to play a quick clip here before we get into thanking our sponsors. This is from the interview I did with Uncle Lou today, about a minute and a half, and it kind of breaks down everything on that front. Then we'll talk about our sponsors, and then we'll get my 2 co-hosts' reaction on this. But Very interesting stuff here from Uncle Lou as I pull that up for us here. I think I got it right here. So just give us just a moment here and we'll play you just this little itty bitty clip here. In your opinion, do you think it's a crowded quarterback room and he's thinking, man, I may have to split snaps with somebody else?
It is a crowded quarterback room, but now I'm a Georgia homer, so forget anything I say. Pro Football Focused. I mean, they're widely respected. They rate college football players. They've been doing it for years. Jamie Newman is the third best draft eligible quarterback in college football behind Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. Having Jamie Newman was a huge benefit for the University of Georgia for a whole variety of reasons. I mean, we have a crowded quarterback room, but zero experience, none. And the only experience we did have was ACC experience from Jamie Newman. Now, when I were left with a room full of talented guys who've never taken a snap in college football, ever. Carson Beck, true freshman, highly rated 4-star, but we all know how that goes. You can be a 5-star and be terrible. You can be a 2-star and be an All-American. You never know what you're going to get out of these kids until they get on the field and do it. So do I like signing highly rated quarterbacks? Of course I do. But it's impossible to be 100% confident in a kid who's never played. Then you got DeJuan Mathis. He was a true freshman last year. He had a brain cyst, actually, they discovered about this time last year. He had to have surgery, sat out the entire year. So he's never played. And then you bring in JT Daniels from Southern Cal. Now, this guy's talented. 5-star, looked good at times in 2018 as a true freshman for Southern Cal. Injured in the first game last year, didn't play all year. But you go back to his 2018 year, negative 150 yards rushing for the year. I'm tired of this at Georgia. I'm sick of it. Georgia is talented, probably the most talented Georgia's ever been from top to bottom, period. But you got to have a quarterback that can move around. I'm not saying you have to have a dual threat quarterback. You don't. But I mean, look at Joe Burrow. He's no Kyler Murray, but Joe Burrow can run for a first down. Jake Fromm finished his career at Georgia with like negative 125 yards rushing for his career.
Right.
That's JT Daniels. JT Daniels, to me, is Jake Fromm in disguise. I don't see a difference between the two. I'm tired of that. I better not hear. I don't want to find out that for some reason Kirby told Newman, listen, we're going to go with Jake Fromm Jr. I don't think that's the case. I don't want to find that out. But who knows what's going to happen now? I guess it's going to come down to DeJuan Mathis or JT Daniels, and I really don't know where we're headed.
Not to be the devil's advocate here, but there was a section of Georgia fans that I follow on social media, and they weren't maybe not completely sold on Newman simply because, well, he's only got 1 year to play, and he played at Wake Forest, and they have said, hey, he played an ACC schedule. The only game that he had played against a really good team in theory was Clemson, and he never did really good against them. What do you say to those folks? I mean, they probably like the idea of a typical drop back passer.
Oh, they love the idea of a typical drop back passer. I mean, it's the same segment of the fan base that wears pointy hats, a couple of times a month too.
Uh-oh. Uncle Lou dropping some stuff there, saying that the people that want to drop back quarterback at Georgia wear pointy hats twice a month. Wow. Appreciate Uncle Lou coming on my show today. Giving us give about 15 minutes there. You can find that show. It's called The Rundown with Rob Sanders. Not promoting myself. Promoting the
Rob,
interview.
I might be stupid. What did he mean by that reference? Is he talking about KKK people? Is he saying that only racist people don't want to see a black guy who can run around at quarterback?
At Georgia,
just two full hats. I mean, I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, I don't want to speak for Uncle Lou, but I mean that's the reference I took, or maybe he was thinking, hey, they're wearing dunce caps, but people wear dunce caps here. Klan folks go to meetings twice a month, I'm told. We do have a Klan expert that follows the show. Shout out to Randy Tucker.
If I still wore dunce caps when I was in school, I would have. I mean, it would have been perpetually stitched in my head.
Well, I think that I think he was referring to clan folk. I don't want to speak for Uncle Lou, but that's the vibe that I got from it. But yeah, great stuff there. I'll put the link to that in. We'll put that on the Rob and Comrade.
I can't believe that shit even still exists.
It's out there, Kale. I mean, it is. I mean, we don't want to make the show about racist shit, but that stuff exists out there. Yeah, it's terrible. So, what are you laughing at, comrade?
We're talking about the KKK. I'm sure you can find a group if you're so inclined, but they're still around, unfortunately.
Yeah, well,
I don't see them dying out anytime soon.
Well, we'll see. Shout out to the folks watching tonight on the in the chat room, including Lisa, who is a patron of the show. By the way, you can be a patron of the show. Go to robcomrade.com, and there's a link right there on the side. Let's thank our patrons. They include Lawton Swan of Clemson Sports Talk, Thomas Dana Young, Stacey Hamp, Keith Harrelson, Jamie Phillips, Tabitha Sims, and Robert Knight. Also, Positive Mike, Lisa Sester Harkins, Jeff Pritchett, Christian Young, Eddie Hicks, Sally Donegan, and Melanie Bookhart. We appreciate them. You can donate $1 or $2 a month and help pay for some of the equipment and whatever else we have to come up with to keep the podcast going. We appreciate the folks that support the show. Comrade, let's thank our sponsors really quick. We got to talk about the Callaway's Pick'em Challenge. Man, we're getting some people in this, right?
We are. There's a few people who are regulars who have not bought in yet, though. Lisa Sester Harkins, haven't got your money yet. What's going on? I got a few people who are texting me or emailing me because they're concerned about what happens if the season doesn't get played. And I go, then we refund your money.
That's all in the description of the contest.
Yeah, it's all in the description. But, September 12th is opening week for the contest, okay? So that's 10 days from now. I'm looking at my computer right now. It's September 2nd right now. So September 12th, you need your money in before kickoff, okay? I mean, you can do it earlier than that, but you got to get your picks in and your money in before kickoff on the 12th. You can pay me either through PayPal or Venmo. That's on robincomrade.com. Those ways right there, or just Facebook me or text Rob, get your money in. And we've decided that if the season goes 3 weeks, if we play 3 weeks of football, at that point, if the season ends at any time after that, the person in first place takes home the money. If it only goes 2 weeks, then we'll refund your money. So
right.
We figured that would be the best way of doing it. I mean,
if we have to split it up, if there's just a tie, we're just going to split it up. That's the best way to do it.
If I took a time machine, if Comrade 2019 was listening to this podcast right now, he would say, what in the hell are you talking about? That if it gets to week 3, the season's complete. What do you mean the season might get canceled? So it's just crazy. But hopefully, I think they're going to play. I think they're going to get through the season. It may not be – it's going to be some issues. There are going to be some games that get canceled. But, it'll be like all sports are right now. You have to kind of adjust, just like the NBA in the bubble, baseball teams adjusting. You got to adjust your picks, my friend. You got to think with COVID mentality. Did you see a player with a cough last week? Well, maybe he's not going to play this week. I don't know. Okay, so
change every day. So
get in the contest. We'll have all 7 games on the 12th. We'll be in the contest. We'll do 5 a week after that, and we'll play it by ear each week in terms of how many games we have and who's playing, all that good stuff. So,
well, I want to remember also Callaway sponsors the Pick'em Challenge. This is like the 3rd year in a row they've done that for us. So
yeah, apparently according to Carolina Jackpot, they have a hell of a Golden Q tournament.
Golden Q.
They do have Golden Tea. That's what you remember the classic arcade game. It's not really a classic anymore. People are hardcore serious about that. The only Golden Tea Lounge in the Midlands is at Callaway's Bar and Grill out in West Columbia. Highway 1 diagonal from the Walmart. Ice cold beer, really good wings, pizza, you name it, they've got it for you. Retro video games, Callaway's Bar and Grill.com.
Yeah, I gave him a good shout out Friday night. Like I said, I messed up with the golden Q thing, and then I forgot to mention. I did mention that the Walmart was diagonal from the from Callaway Sports Bar and Grill, but I didn't mention it was on Highway 1. But pretty sure anybody familiar with the Columbia area would know there's probably only one Walmart in West Columbia. Yeah, I guess they probably figured that out.
Yeah, well, hey, that's Callaway's is a great place to go and have some beer, etc. We also have to thank DNC Trucking and Transport. They sponsor the No Spin Zone segment with the Comrade. Comrade, please read us the wonderful ad from Dennis Wilson and DNC Trucking and Transport.
It sucks to be a Gamecock. I wish that I had a man with a character that Dabo Swinney has to run my football program. I am happy with the COVID-19 pandemic. Did you know Clemson football has more wins in Columbia than my piss poor team has in the series? Betty Wilson hates me. I am the reason Cale Hall pisses in his sink. It is utterly shameful to be a Gamecock. Go Tigers.
That message courtesy of Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking and Transport. We appreciate him as always. I want to jump right back into the Jamie Newman moving on from Georgia. Brock, I want to acknowledge Brock because his comment made me laugh really hard. It says Rob's hat left his head like Jamie Newman left UGA. That's funny. I just decided not to wear my hat tonight. So yeah, there's that. I want to I normally rip Georgia fans, but just because I think it's funny, but a hell of a blow for them to lose this guy down the line and this late in the season, Comrade. What do you think?
Well, listen, when I heard the news, I texted you and Kale, and I laughed my ass off. And mainly I'm laughing because, of the Georgia fans who called Jimmy Newman Cam Newton 2.0, okay? Because I know that they're heartbroken right now and they're sad. And I love when Bulldog fans are sad. But here, you know what? I'm gonna be consistent now. I have been saying from the very beginning that I didn't think Jimmy Newman was that good of a quarterback. I watched him at Wake. He was okay. But when Sage Surratt got hurt and was out, he looked like piss, okay? And I wasn't sold on him. So let me pick you up, Georgia fans. I'm going to make a prediction right now. I think you're better off without him. I think the upside of Daniels, because first of all, Daniels can play, and he's not Jake Fromm. Like, he's got a big time arm. Now I know at USC he didn't play great. Part of that was he came really early. He left high school early or some shit. Right. He pulled some Jake Bentley crap. Remember that whole joke? Hey, Jake Bentley being the 10th grade, really? Okay, so whatever. And he may be a stiff, but he's got big time arm talent, as they say. I love that phrase, arm talent. Big time arm talent. And the Mathis kid is a dual threat guy. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine. In fact, you know what? I'm going to make a prediction right now. Georgia still wins the SEC East. I'm not sure they're beating the Gamecocks now. I'm not sure they're beating Mike Bobo. I'm going to beat Bobo. But you guys will still win the East. I think you're going to beat Florida. You're going to tear Florida up. Kirby Smart's defense will beat Florida. Kyle Trask is overrated. I think you're going to look back, and then you're going to lie now. Georgia fans will lie and act like, oh, I knew it all along. I knew Daniels was the real kid thing. Okay, but really, we know the truth. You didn't know that. But Comrade told you he was. So I think a little combination of Daniels and Mathis, I think Georgia will be fine. And the good thing is this. You open up with Arkansas, I believe, okay, who is a lot better this year because they don't have Chad Morris. But still, Arkansas and then Auburn, who's kind of, So those aren't too bad games to start off with if you have a quarterback who hasn't got a lot of reps in practice. It's not like you're playing Florida in week 1 or week 2. So you got 2 weeks to play two teams that you have more talented in to kind of work things out. You'll be fine. Georgia wins the SEC. Put the money on it right now. They win the East, and you'll be glad Newman's not there. Glad, because I think he's overrated in the bum. This is my position.
This is ridiculous. God damn it.
Easy virtual. Easy virtual, Dale.
Oh,
I don't know if I necessarily agree with all that, and I'm trying to be the optimist here, but it comes down to this with Georgia. I goof on Georgia fans a lot. I don't really have anything against you, completely honest with you. I'm not really on board with what your coach does on the front of he has top 5 talent everywhere. He should have won at least one national title by now. Losing to South Carolina last year is absolutely fucking embarrassing. I mean,
Got a coach.
No, stop it.
Yep.
Why can't you just play?
Coach outplays. Team have more heart. You can't put that on Kirby Smart. Listen, sometimes you just aren't the better team in that day. And he walked into a hungry team playing for the coach because he builds men. Okay,
Georgia came out looked really. They looked really flat in that game. But you know what? We didn't look great in that game. It's not like we were world beaters. We weren't going out there and winning the damn Orange Bowl that day or something. I mean, we played our game. They got outplayed. They got outcoached. And after a couple of wide rights or wide lefts, whatever it was, the kid who didn't put his goggles on straight. I mean, we had a win. It's over and done with. Let's quit.
I'm going to double down.
That.
I'm going to double down again, okay? Because SEC Dog, a Bulldog fan, is in here now all sad and thinking about taking a bunch of pills right now. Let me tell you right now, okay? I'm going to double down. Georgia makes the playoffs. If there are playoffs, Georgia makes the playoffs this year. And here's the thing now. All I ask is this, Bulldog fans. Don't come in here when you make the playoffs and try talking crap to me because I told you, don't be like, oh, I knew JT Daniels. We all know, screenshot it right now, okay, that you don't believe in JT Daniels. Screenshot it. You're shaking your head. Screenshot it, SEC Dog, because when they go to the playoffs, I don't want you to have a JT Daniels T-shirt jersey on and like, oh, I knew he was the golden boy. I knew he was. I'm the one telling you. Georgia, go to Vegas right now, put money on the Bulldogs. Everyone's counting them out. Put money on the Bulldogs right now. They're not going to beat us. We're going to kick their ass. But you got one loss. Still at the playoffs. Georgia going to the playoffs. Mark it down right now. Okay?
Thanks, comrade, for being unrealistic as hell. Saying
I'm not being unrealistic. Georgia's going to the playoffs. Going to the playoffs.
Hold on. Look, you're not being very realistic, Mike.
I am being – Georgia's got a ton of talent, okay? Let's be honest. They got a ton of talent on both sides of the ball. They're very good. Okay, the quarterback situation a little bit iffy, but I think they have enough talent to get to the playoffs for there. And I think JT Daniels is a sleeper. Okay, a sleeper. We'll look out for him. Who knew who Joe Burrow was last year? Nobody. Okay. Oh, he sucked at Ohio State. You couldn't cut the shit at Ohio State. Okay, I'm telling you right now, JT Daniels. Okay, a little Mathis mixed in there. The Bulldogs get to the playoffs. Get to the playoffs. Okay. Win the East, get to the playoffs.
It'd be really cool if we could get some real-time stats on what the amount of consumption is this evening of oxycodone, OxyContin, and methamphetamines from our neighbors down to the southwest this evening, because those some bitches got to be hurting right now.
Yeah. By the way, the noise that you're hearing there, for folks that are listening on the podcast, is our good buddy Jackpot here has it's still a puppy, I would venture to say. It's a very large puppy, though. And it has a nice little toy there that it is constantly chewing. So we're not going. What's that?
It's a Razorback.
Shit. Well, there you go.
If I can get him away from it.
Comrade, I have to ask you, though, because I'm thinking that I don't really believe in what you just said, and I think you're being very homerish in what you just said.
Not homerish.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, you said Georgia's going to have one loss, and it's to South Carolina.
Okay. Let me be true serum now. Okay. I don't think we're going to beat Georgia this year. Okay. That's just me trying to get Georgia fans mad. I do think Georgia, like I will guarantee they win the East. I'm going to guarantee that. Now the playoffs, I think they'll have a shot. They got to go. They got to play SEC title game. I think if two teams get in, they have a shot. Okay, I'm going to predict that. Okay, as my little sleeper thing right now. But I guarantee they win the East because here's the thing: Florida. I think Florida's fraudulent. They're fraudulent. Damn it. Tennessee blows. We know about the Gamecocks. Not even going to go there. Okay. Kentucky.
I just wanted
Vanderbilt,
to call
Missouri.
you out on that because I'm just not buying.
Georgia wins the East, and I think they thump Florida too. I think they thump them. I think they thump Florida bad, like a 26-3 or some crap like that. So I got to win the East.
My big thing with Georgia that I am confident about, and this is me being completely unbiased, is that I think that the Georgia Bulldogs have the best defense in the SEC this season. I think they'll finish number one in total defense. The problem they're going to have is that they're not going to score a hell of a lot of points. And I worry that they were queued up all year to have, or, as much as they can as far as practice goes, to Newman. Now they're going to put somebody else back there that doesn't have the ability to make plays on his feet, etc. They've got a bunch of Statue of Liberty type passers back there, in my opinion, but I think that's going to hurt Georgia a good bit. And until I agree with what Uncle Lou said on my show today, he's tired of the 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and a lot of Georgia fans are too. And until they get more mobile quarterbacks, and as he was saying, it doesn't have to be somebody that is like a Cam Newton. But if you remember from last season, Joe Burrows would go and get first downs. Trevor Lawrence won the game against Ohio State with his feet. He had a couple of carries that were just outstanding. So with Georgia this season, they're going to have a hell of a lot of games that I think they're going to win, 17-9, etc. If Georgia scores 24 points, I think they go 9-1. If the offense averages 24 points a game, they'll go 9-1 because I think that defense is going to be lights out. I think they are just solid. The two deep on that defense, a lot of the backups could start at most SEC schools. I mean, just being as real as I can here. Now, on the offensive side of the ball, I don't know where they're going to be. They're not going to be Gamecock awful, but they're going to be pretty light in my opinion.
Trust me. And Daniels is not. Well, listen, he's not.
Gamecocks have been made over anyway, so you don't know what.
Well, we'll talk about the Gamecocks in a second. I'm getting good reports for the Gamecocks, but Daniels is not. He's more mobile than Fromm was. I'm not saying he's a dual threat guy, but he can. He's not as statue as you think he is.
Mike,
I think there's a little bit
to play yet. You can't bank on a guy that hasn't been cleared to play yet, sir.
I'm just saying, if he's not as statuesque as you think he is. He can move a little bit.
Okay, Kale, what do you think, man? You've been kind of quiet.
Well, first off, I wanted to respond there to SEC Dog, who said, "Are you comparing JT Daniels to Jamie Newman? Whatever, get the hell out." He couldn't cut the mustard in Southern California. Sir, he got hurt. He got hurt in the first game of the season last year. He was gone for the rest of the season. The backup that stepped into his place, Keaton Slovis, I think is his name. I mean, he did a hell of a job, and that mean he couldn't cut the mustard. He was doing just fine. There he got hurt, and I actually saw there was this kid was good, and I was reading a pastor, so he moved on. But I've noticed that Georgia fans, especially this Jake Fromm situation over the past few years, they've proven to me to be very fucking disingenuous. If that makes sense. I mean, all they did.
Explain yourself, Kale. What are they so disingenuous about?
Well, I mean, hell. They're just nothing, and they're just never satisfied with them. 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Blah, 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 blah. They won 11 games last year in the regular season. They lost one fucking game. They made it to the damn playoffs the year before that. Hell, he took them to the national championship game as a true fucking freshman when he wasn't even supposed to start. I mean, he was just a damn backup, and he was thrust into that role, and he took them to the damn national championship game. And he did a lot of damn good things there, but it seemed like they really, really started beating him up about his style play and the way he quarterbacks the team when they saw how Justin Fields was lighting it up at Ohio State. But at the same time, they were winning just as many fucking games as Justin Fields were. I mean, he didn't have those eye-popping stats, of course, but I mean, you've won one less game in the regular season than Justin Fields. I don't know. I just think that they, it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's karma, in a way. You complain for so long about what you had, but now I guarantee you, if you asked all of them to be candid about their damn opinion, they would be glad to take back what they had before, because he would have been a senior this year, right? They'd be glad to take him back right now, as opposed to what they're being faced with. As it is, and Daniels, I mean, is he even going to be the starting quarterback there? Because from what I saw, he had some, God damn it, fucking animals. There's some issues. He's not even medically been cleared to play yet.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. So I think they have a power quarterback room too. So
I don't think it's funny, but some of them are getting what they deserve. And with the Newman thing, I mean, you came down here to be the quarterback. All of a sudden, I mean, why are you opting out now? Why is this just now coming out? It doesn't make any sense to me. And someone over on Carolina Chatbot YouTube channel talking about a rumor he's heard of these agents now getting into these kids' heads and convincing them to opt out because they can. And I wouldn't doubt that scenario one bit. And I wouldn't doubt some dirty rogue coaches somewhere pushing them towards that. And then taking kickbacks from the damn agent. I mean, it's not like we hadn't seen dirty pool in college sports before. What do you think about that?
You're right.
I want to bring up real quick. Mike Bridges thinks Mathis will start. That's the other thing, too, is that Mathis apparently, he's the kid they got from Ohio State. They flipped him. He was going to Ohio State, and they flipped him. I mean, I just think that they're better off without Newman. I wasn't sold on Newman. I wasn't sold on him. And I think they got enough talent to score enough points with that defense to win a bunch of games. And you might be surprised with Daniels or Mathis becoming better than you ever thought Newman would ever be. Newman was not Cam Newton 2.0. And listen, maybe Jamie Newman knows he wasn't that good, and maybe he didn't feel like getting exposed this year and hurting his draft stocks. Maybe he thought, you know what? Maybe I'll sit out. I'll claim the COVID scare, and I'll try to get my draft stock up by having great little interviews and a great combine, a great pro day, and get my draft that way and show my tape at Wake when I had Sage Surratt playing with me.
Now, so maybe I did hear you too today, Rob, talking to Uncle Luke on that little snippet after you fixed it for me. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Mm-hmm. It was entertaining. When you talked about, the only decent team that he played against, a lot of people think, was Clemson. And he didn't do worth a shit. Quite frankly, the whole team didn't do worth a shit. Is that really a mark of what he is as a quarterback? Because you got to think, I mean, now he's coming to Georgia. He's playing with Georgia receivers, not Wake Forest receivers. He's going to have a Georgia offensive line blocking for him and not a Wake Forest offensive line. He's going to have Georgia coaching staff talent coaching him up and not Wake Forest coaching staff talent coaching him up, which not not a knock on Wake Forest, but you got to think there's a little bit more and,
Well, it's
of a
it's big
Georgia.
fish. It's big fish, small pond theory too. At Wake Forest, he was the absolute man, and when he walked, he goes to Georgia. Let's just be honest. That Georgia team was the most talented team the guys ever played on. I mean, and that's really not up for debate. I don't like really saying nice stuff about Georgia, but hell, it's true. He walked onto the field with the best team that he's ever played on, and I don't know if it was something where he couldn't cut the mustard, but I agree with Cale on this. If you wanted to opt out, your ass should have opted out in March. Okay? When you seen they canceled the NCAA tournament, opt out then, because the team was depending on you now, and it just doesn't look good. I mean, it really doesn't, in my opinion. Now, they can, and I know that I'm going to catch hell, and people are going to say, but Rob, the coronavirus is real. I had the coronavirus. I know it's real. Okay? I'm not mocking them for that. But if he's just opting out to go to the pros, that bugs me. If he's just saying I'm opting out because I don't want to get the COVID, just stop it. But the other end, too, is if he opted out because the quarterback room was a little bit too crowded, that's just selfish. It's just selfish. And he's not a good teammate on that front. But that's just my opinion on that. And I'm not trying to bitch slap a college kid, but he's an adult. He put himself in this situation, and it looks kind of silly right now. But
he's not stupid. I mean, he's got a degree from Wake Forest, correct? I mean, they don't do dumb at Wake Forest. They don't take people who sign the hit herd around the world and stuff like that on helmets up there at Wake Forest.
Yeah.
You got to know some reading, writing, and arithmetic, and be pretty proficient at it to get you a degree from Wake Forest. So, old Jamie's got to have a pretty high IQ up there.
Yeah, you're right about that. And
it's like Furman.
Furman.
Or Wofford. Both of those have high academic standards. Not just
Dennis Wilson, that the Miami fan Dennis Wilson says, Rob, SEC dogs been stomping you in Clemson for days, and you not smashing the birthday cake in their face. Look, I try to be as realistic as I can on this show. And let's be on reality. I like for people to come to this show because they think that we give them some fair insight and not just me motherfucking people till the end of time. So, but that's just me. Cale, do you have to know the 3 5-stars go to Wake Forest too? Yep. There's that. Brock says when Wake Forest plays Clemson, they play more like a sleep forest. Yeah. Brent, and a lot of that's got to do with Brent Venables and that defense. He made Jamie Newman look like shit last year. Clemson won 52-3. And there was talk about, Newman's going to score some points. Yeah, Newman looked average at best in that game. Moving on, we've talked about the other folks that have opted out. Jamar Chase, LSU had another young man that opted out whose name escapes my head right now.
Tyler
Shelvin. There you go. Way to go,
Tyler,
Cale.
putting it on the shelving.
Yeah. So there's that. But I wonder if we're going to get to a point, and Coach Orgeron said there was a couple of guys that he thought were probably going to opt out too. Are we going to see a lot more of this as we get closer to the season starting? Because we're 24 days away for the SEC?
He's mad as hell.
Something like that. But you think we're going to have more people opt out, Cale?
I guarantee you he's angry.
Yeah.
I thought his boys wanted to play Mississippi State.
That's funny. Do you think people are going to opt out though? I mean, are we going to have more, or you think people are just going to go at it?
Yeah, it's becoming a trend.
Yeah,
somebody else somewhere. It ain't. It hadn't just stopped. I mean, they hadn't put they never put a cap on it. Didn't tell you. I don't guess when you could stop opting out, and you had to play. So, no, I think you're gonna see some more.
Comrade, are you on the same boat?
Probably. I mean, you come to college for the atmosphere of college football, and suddenly this is not going to be the normal year. And if you think that, you're better off, or you have an agent talking to you about this, and I have you projected going here, and start getting ready right now, we can kind of move up, and you're not going to be hurt by not playing. I mean, that's the big question. How hurt will you be by not playing as opposed to risking injury to play? So I guess everyone's a little bit different in that. I think Jamie Newman probably needed to play this year and show something at Georgia to improve his draft stock. But maybe he's afraid that he would, would show that he's a fraud and not that good and not get drafted at all. Now there's a little mystery there. You can have a good pro day, good interviews, good scouting combine. Maybe he gets drafted and someone takes a flyer on him. But I don't know. I mean, I don't want to criticize too much because, listen, maybe it's legit. Maybe he's really scared about getting sick and his future, and he doesn't think it's worth it. Maybe he doesn't think that they're going to play a full season. They're not going to get all the games in, and he doesn't want to be part of the shit show, and he'd rather go off and hire an agent and hire a personal workout guy and get ready for the draft and all that stuff. So, I mean, listen, free country. Good for him. I wish him luck.
Could he decide to come back in a month and be eligible? That's a good question. I think just from the academic perspective, I don't even know. He may not even be on fucking campus anymore. Hell, I don't know.
Over there on YouTube. Over there on YouTube Live, we have a CJ Dorsey who made the comment that nobody knew who Jamie Newman was before he came to Georgia. He's not all wrong there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I remember it was a couple years ago, they were trying to decide they were trying to figure out for Wake Forest riveting open season or opening game battle against fucking Tulane or somebody back in like 2017. Was it going to be this Jamie Newman? Was it going to be Sam Hartman, or was it going to be Kendall Hinton? And just now, all of a sudden, a couple of years later, one good year of some decent stats, and he's the third best quarterback prospect in the 2021 NFL draft. I don't know. Just food for thought, but he's Comrade talks about it being a little bit overrated, and there may be something to that.
The question about coming back after you opt out, I know that the two Gamecock players who opted out, Will Muschamp was asked last week on his Collins show if they could come back, and he said they could. Now, the difference being they're both still in school. They're just opting out for the season, not seniors. They're planning on playing next year, and so he said that if they come back, they're good to go. Now, obviously, they have to come back and start practicing and get back in football shape and a lot of stuff, but he said there's no law or no rule that says if you opt out, you can't come back whenever you want to. But, of course, Newman's a little bit different because he's doing it to go to the draft, so I'm guessing he probably said, I'm done with school too. I'm guessing. I don't know for sure. But
so Will Muschamp was absent for his Collins show?
No. Will Muschamp was – someone asked him on his Collins show if the two guys who opted out – I forgot their names now. I can't think of their names. If they could come back to Carolina any time they wanted to. He says yes, because they're still students. If they choose to come back and play, they can come back and play. They're welcome back.
I thought you said he was absent from his college.
No, he was not. He was a good show.
Kind of like last November, he was absent from his playing and coaching like a freaking Division I FCS Power 5 coach against Appalachian State show. Sorry, I had to let that one go.
Should be fucking embarrassed.
Exactly, Virtual Kale. Thank you for contributing to the show.
Welcome.
I mean, holy shit. Anyway, let's move on for a moment. I got two more things I want to get to before we get out of here this evening. Brock brings up a question. What do you think about the rumor that Dabo might leave the Tigers for the Jaguars? Comrade has railed on Dabo Swinney for a long time about, his headset's not on. It's bullshit, and it's funny. But I just don't see that happening. I don't see him going to Jacksonville, which the players' union at one point told teams, be wary of signing there. Dabo Swinney's not going to go somewhere where the players' union basically tells players, hey, don't fucking go there. I don't know if he's in the mix for other jobs. I think he's a college coach. I think he's seen what happened with Nick Saban, and I don't know if he wants that kind of headache. It's not money.
Steve Spurrier, Lou Holtz, if you want to go way back.
The Mike Tannenbaum was on ESPN's Get Up and said that Dabo Swinney reminded him of Pete Carroll. I don't know why you get that.
I don't. That's dumb.
Because Dabo is a player's coach, and Pete Carroll is a player's coach, and that's what you got to be in the NFL. You just kind of got you can't rule it with a damn iron fist like Nick Saban want to structure and rule everything. They failed in the NFL. They're fucking billionaires, man. I mean, you let them go do their damn thing, and just sit back and watch. I mean, I think Dabo might do all right there. Yeah.
Mike? Can you take off your I hate Dabo Swinney's everything hat and try to be a little bit unbiased?
Not completely. Here's the thing. I don't know Dabo. I mean, because he's a phony, so no one really knows who he is. But he doesn't strike me like, how can I put this? I'm not trying to insult him, but a lot of coaches like Saban, like Spurrier, they have a certain kind of ego where they want to see if they can get it done in the NFL. Same with college basketball coaches, Pitino and those guys. They want to see, they kind of get bored with success. I got bored. I mastered this. Let me go try that. Dabo doesn't strike me as someone who gets bored with the winning and wants to go prove something else. I think at the end of the day, he kind of knows what he is, and that's a lucky ass fucking cheerleader who hired the right coordinators. Let's be honest. But I don't know. I just think he knows himself well enough that that's not really what he. I mean, I could be totally wrong now. He could have that be his goal. He could have in his back pocket my 5 goals in life, and number 5 could be NFL coach one day, So I don't know, but I would, if I was him, I wouldn't do it. Like the things you said, NFL, you go to the NFL, you go there to get fired. I mean, you can get fired in college too, but Dabo's not getting fired from Clemson unless there's some big scandal. I mean, Dabo will be like Bobby Bowden was in terms of, the only way he really gets fired, is you get really old and people start to whisper like, hey, man, don't you think you ought to retire? And you kind of get pushed out that way. That's how a guy like Dabo gets fired from college. In the NFL, he's going to get 4 years. Okay? And they don't give a shit that he did this in Clemson. They don't give a shit he's got funny little stories about Martin Luther King Jr. They don't give 2 shits, okay? Did you win? Get the fuck out of here. Okay, move on.
Let's put it into perspective with what the comrade said, because you go into the NFL to get fired. Let's remember, the Patriots are what? Bill Belichick's second job?
Yeah.
Didn't Pete Carroll? Pete Carroll coached at another
Patriots
spot.
He coached the Patriots. He coached before Belichick. He coached after. He coached the Jets and he coached the Jets and Patriots.
I mean, that's just the way that it is, to be completely honest with you. But it is. It's interesting though. I just don't think that'll happen. I do think the Jaguars are tanking for Trevor Lawrence, which is why they released Leonard Fournette. I think they're trying like hell to get Trevor Lawrence at number 1, or they may be going after Justin Fields too. Either way, they're going after a quarterback.
But wait a minute though. What year is Trevor Lawrence? Trevor
Lawrence is a junior.
But listen, I was told by these diehard Clemson fans, not here, not talking about you. You get like that. Trevor Lawrence loves Clemson so much that he's going to stay for all 4 years.
Yeah, that's not happening.
I mean, they convinced me in the room. They trust me. He just loves it here.
Telling me the other day, I'm not.
He don't care about money.
Some Clemson fan was telling me the other day, since basically everybody gets another year of eligibility, this one guy was telling me he wouldn't be surprised if Travis Etienne comes back. And he told me this in person, and I just looked at him like, you might be the dumbest fuck on the history of this planet.
Let's get a little bit older and a little bit more mileage in my legs before I'm draft eligible and then running back. Yeah, that's a good way.
Understand something here. You're already going into the NFL at 22, 23.
Yeah.
The best running back in the NFL 2 years ago was Todd Gurley, and he's 29, and they're talking about reducing his workload for the Falcons.
And the thing is,
he was the sixth leading rusher in the NFL last season as far as total yards. He got cut. He's 27. Just stop it.
I feel bad for running backs in the NFL because the GMs have finally gotten smarter, and they've realized that for the most part, you can plug in a lot of guys at running back in the NFL and be fine. And they not going to draft you high. Like, I always mock you guys about having 2 number 1 draft picks, one being George Rogers. George Rogers, as great as he was, would not be number 1 draft pick now, because back then they weren't as smart. Back then they kind of valued the running back. Like, the running back is the key. And they figured out over time that that's not really what makes the offense go. It's the line play, it's the court, so George Rogers wouldn't go number 1 nowadays because running backs aren't valued that way. They don't get paid at all because by the time they get to their first contracts up and their first contract isn't that great because they get drafted late, they get rid of them because they're 27 years old. And like by then you're like, okay, a lot of trend. So ETN, I was shocked he came back this year because the clock just ticks in those legs and you're a year older and you get devalued. It's not like quarterbacks. If you stay a little bit longer, you get more experience and all that stuff. They like that stuff. But running backs, hell no.
Virtual Kale, what do you want to do, man?
Whatever the fuck.
Okay, well, how about we take calls? You can call the show right now. The number to dial is 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. If you want to talk about Jamie Newman, if you want to talk about Jamar Chase opting out, if you think that someone else is going to opt out, we'll take those calls as well. You think Dabo Swinney's going to the NFL? Hey, we'll take calls on that. Final thing I want to get into this evening as we await some calls here, 803-470-2905. The President of the United States came out to the Big Ten and told the Big Ten, hey, guess what? We'll give you financial support from the federal government, and we'll give you actual federal government testing if that's what it'll take to get the season underway. Had a conversation with Kevin Warren, the commissioner of the Big Ten, and he wants to have football this season in the Big Ten. If I'm a fan of the SEC or the ACC or the Big 12, and you're actually paying for all this yourself, I'd be kind of pissed off that, hey, the Big Ten and the money that they've got as a conference, they're going to get a lot of this stuff as funding from the federal government. That sounds like some horse shit to me, but hey, what do I know? Comrade, what do you think about that, man? You think the Big Ten's going to come back?
I think somebody is trying to buy some electoral votes from the state of Ohio.
Oh,
so
wow.
Throwing it out there.
Throw that out there.
Throwing it out there, hoping you get some, get that little toss-up state.
Yeah, well, it's an important state. It's not just a toss-up state. Generally, who wins Ohio takes the election. But the other thing, and I kind of wanted to get with Kale on this too, there's been reports they're going to start at Thanksgiving, and then there's reports that, hey, maybe they'll start October the 10th. If they start October the 10th, that puts them basically 2 weeks behind the SEC and a month behind the ACC. If they start October the 10th, should they be allowed to be in the college football playoff picture? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. I don't know. TikTok Chess Hall says you can call in. Do I need to call in? Teach y'all kids a lesson. What the fuck are you, a grandpa? Have at it, man. Call in.
TikTok Chess Hall. I'm sure he'll be incredible on the phone.
Curtis Shaw over on YouTube says, doesn't matter. DJ is going to be better than Trevor. Yeah, okay. And Bowman is going to be better than it.
And get used to it.
Whatever. Lawrence, at least, and I make fun of Clemson players all the time, and I talk crap. At least Lawrence doesn't have enough damn stupidity to sit here and tweet at the damn President of the United States and still leave it up on his damn Twitter account when you're playing for a fucking coach who don't even like you being on damn social media. I don't know why he's letting them be on social media right now when the season or when practice, summer/fall practice is going on. But fuck, that guy's a damn clown. He ain't gonna last. And I don't think he's gonna be a damn good quarterback for y'all. Well, at least I hope not. At least I hope not. I think he won't.
Talking about Ugunglei? Is that who you're talking about?
I'm talking about fucking ukulele.
How do you say his name? By the way,
Ugunglei.
I can't pronounce that shit. I'm gonna call him DJ.
It's ukulele.
DA.
Anyway, but no,
He's tweeting at Donald Trump. I mean, can you really? I mean, come on.
It bothers me with Clemson fans that they're like, well, DJ and you said DJ and Bowman are going to be better. You're talking about they're going to be better than a preseason all-American? Because that's what ETN and Lawrence are. Just be respectful of what the fuck you got. My God. Come on, man. They all wear orange anyway. Jesus, man. It's just silly that people get so
they all got shitty taste. And I mean they all got led down the wrong path, so let's just join hands, join forces, and pray for them. That's all we can do.
803-470-2905. 803-470-2905. Carlos says he knows college football will help the economy.
No shit.
Well, how?
Fuck, that's.
They can't even buy a damn ticket.
Oh, I got an idea. I think if college football is played, the economy will be better. No shit, Sherlock. Everyone knows that. It's not like Jesus fucking crazy.
Destroy says Bowman is better than ETN. With all due respect, Destroy. Bowman's never played a fucking down.
That's a Gator. That Gator.
He played a fucking down in the college. Holy shit.
Destroy's still mad at me because I called Florida fraudulent, and he's mad as hell. That's okay. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at the team.
Maybe he's talking about the city of Bowman, South Carolina, down there.
Bowman, South Carolina. Where is that located? Where's Bowman, South Carolina?
Don't start.
Halfway between Orangeburg and Somerville, I believe.
I know where Orangeburg is. Had a college buddy of mine from Orangeburg. You know.
Comrade, can you give us some of the insight on what you were talking about earlier?
What now? I missed that.
You said you had some insight on the Gamecock camp earlier. Right?
No, I just read an article, and I heard different sources now, but I read an article from forgot his damn name now. Crap. Guy wrestling athletic. Anyway, and he was told, Josh Kendall. Thank you, Cal Hall. I could not think of his damn name. He was told by someone who's at practice all the time that the offense that they're running is actually, I'm going to paraphrase this now, but actually there's a rhythm to it. There's a sequence to it. It actually makes sense. Basically saying that our offense the past few years made no damn sense, and at times it did not, our play calls. But he said you can tell that Mike Bobo is an experienced play caller. And I'm also hearing, too, that the Gamecocks are running a lot of 2 tight end sets, which I love. Oh, I love the shit out of that. Give me 2 tight end sets all day long.
Let's head out to the phones, Comrade.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Rob, Comrade, and Kale show. How the hell are you?
It's a wonderful evening to be a Texas A&M fan.
Really? Okay. Well, tell us about Texas A&M, man. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, and I got a suggestion on the season how they might can clear up some of the controversy.
Sure.
Instead of going with a 10-game schedule, why don't they just go back to a divisional schedule and play 6 games and let the Big Ten jump in there on October 10th or whatever and let the government fund the whole fucking deal instead of just them, and then we'll play 6 divisional games and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I get where you're going with that, but you know what? Fuck the Big Ten. We've got the model here with the 3 Power 5s that are there. Why in the fuck do we have to bend to them and make things all about them because they couldn't get their thumb out of their ass? I don't want to ruin what we've already got set up as a season anyway. You know what? In my opinion, if you can't get in by October the 3rd, then go play in the spring and shut the hell up. That's about where I'm at with the Big Ten.
Listen, I don't envy the leaders of this trying to make a decision. Okay, and it's got to be because either way, if you play, you risk the one player dying is going to look awful. At the same time, if you don't play, you're risking money and you're playing it too safe. The thing with the Big Ten that surprised me was all they had to do was simply just say, you know what, we're not sure yet. Let's push it back to the 26, like the SEC. Let's still practice. Let's just kind of wait a little longer. Like the SEC did a good job. They went to the 26 and said, okay, we're going to let the NFL go first. The other colleges go first and sit back and wait a little while. And instead, the Big Ten wanted to be first for some reason. Like we're gonna stay at first. Everybody will follow us. And what happened was they did it. And I think that listen. And I'm not going to lie. I didn't think we'd have a season either. But the Big Ten thought the same thing. Well, don't worry, we're going to look like geniuses because they're going to cancel too. The SEC is not really serious. Well, as things went on and they kind of discovered a few things, like the one thing they figured out too, the big thing was the fact that schools were willing to play football if students weren't on campus, which was a big thing that like 6 months ago they weren't going to do. And I think that helps that the players stay healthier because they're not around college, their fellow classmates. So, now they I don't blame them. Now they're kind of screwed. Like, fuck, they're actually going to play, and we're going to look awful. Is there a way we can kind of save face, So I'm kind of like you the same way. Why is everybody else going to freaking bend over backwards to help your ass now? And on top of that, how often has the Big Ten been in the playoffs the past 14 years, whatever it's been? Okay. Or the BCS title games. Okay. The Big Ten has been a real staple in there. So, no, I wouldn't do that either. Let them play October 10th. Listen, if the committee, wants to choose them, because the committee has no rules. I mean, there is no rules of who the committee can pick. If come time to pick the playoffs and Ohio State's like, 7-0, and they want to, hey, you know what, we're taking them. I mean, listen, we'll bitch about it and we'll have a controversy about it, but there are no rules about who the committee can pick. There's no rule if to win your conference or we've talked about that idea. You and Rob and I have talked about the idea that you have to win your conference to be considered for the playoffs, but that's not an actual rule. I mean, there is no rule for it. So I mean, right, just play it out. I mean, I'm not really worried about it. I'm more worried about getting the whole season in. Getting to the end of the year and getting to the fact we'll have a playoff. I'm kind of worried that we're gonna maybe have to stop after 5 games. So I just want to get through and let them play as many games as they can, and we'll figure it out. If our problem this year is that we have to figure out who should be in the playoffs, that's a good problem to have. That means we play the damn season and we're gonna have playoffs. And I'll welcome the controversy knowing that we played a full or somewhat full season at playoffs. So.
Kale, do you think they should get in or not? And should there be a cutoff date? Because I think that's important too.
No, I don't. I mean, it's just been too damn wishy-washy. And now they're seeing that, whoa, everybody else is doing it. So, maybe we can't. It's just, I mean, they made a decision, and they should have to stick with it, in my opinion. I mean, it's just my thing. I'm big about making commitment, making decisions, and sticking by your word. And they think it's too unsafe to play, then they should not play. They took a vote, and no, I don't think they should be allowed to play. I don't. No.
Caller, do you have anything else for the show?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking this SEC schedule, when you put 10 games on there, that's going to eliminate the backups from playing. Now, we're not, there's going to be no blowouts now, and it's going to hurt the SEC at the end because everybody's going to be injured. It's going to be a fucking clusterfuck. So I don't know why they did all that shit too, because Central Arkansas and Austin Peay's playing, but why can't fucking Bowling Green play? I'm just a little frustrated with the whole situation.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate you listening to us way out there in the great Republic of Texas, man. Thanks so much.
I got an early vote for the Heisman. I'm going for Kellen Mond, because he's already been in so many fucking battles and beat up and been there, whatever. It's time for him to win. I mean, hell, after you get your ass kicked for so many times, then you got to come back and play. So he's going to do a good job, man.
Well, he doesn't have to play against.
You're crazier than a pet coon.
Hey, man, thanks for calling the show, buddy. We
But
appreciate it.
we still got the backups that they're trying to develop. We got a guy like Manziel Top from East Texas. He's a freshman coming in. They say he may even take Mon's job by week 3. So, it looks good out here. So I'm happy we're having football.
All right, bud. Thanks for joining the show, man. All right, well, final call for calls this evening, 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. We'll take some more questions here. Curtis Shaw asked, Jackpot, I'd like your thoughts. How many games do you think South Carolina will win? We're going to do next week on – I don't know. Well, hell, we have to do this on Sunday, gentlemen. We got to do pick'em games on Sunday because on Wednesday we have to actually pick 7 games. So Sunday will be Sunday's show, gentlemen. We're already there. We've got to
the workload is fast approaching.
Yeah, game by game selections for both South Carolina and Clemson. That's going to be fun.
Let's do it.
Curtis Shaw, make sure you tune into the show on Sunday, man, and you'll find out exactly how many games that Jackpot thinks that the Gamecocks are going to win, because I don't know.
Really on Sunday we can just do Clemson if we wanted to, because the Gamecocks don't play for a couple more weeks, so we could do Clemson for sure. Since and New Clemson, they do the Gamecocks the following week.
You got to remember, Mike. Generally, we can't really do that because Sunday we got to recap all the games and do the pick'em challenge and everything else.
That's true. Okay, you're right.
So
fucking COVID season.
I got a number on our win total, and y'all can. I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of laughs, so I'll blow back on it, but that's fine. I'm ready for it, and I'm ready to defend my decisions.
Well, that decision you can stick with on your own, but Kale's real picks will come in the Callaway's Pick'em Challenge, because Kale wants to win some money, and the way to win money is with the Callaway's Pick'em Challenge. I've already laid it out there. There's going to be the 3 of us are going to be in the top 8. I can guarantee it. Write it down right now. Brock with the line of the night. Breaking news, Kale transferred from his sink to his couch. Holy shit, Brock. Holy shit, dude. Anyway.
Out of the sink.
I think that the 3 of us will finish in the top 8, and I'm going to go with I'm pretty sure one of us is going to win it. Not because I trust the football knowledge of my friends here. And let's be honest, I don't think that I've seen one of these contests where Kale wasn't in the top 5. I haven't finished out of the top 5, and the comrade's generally up there pretty high himself. So
I might could have won 1 or 2 of those if I could, get my fucking feelings out of the damn way.
And let's be honest, last year I should have won. I had a 4-game lead going into the final week, and I lost by 6. I think I went 1-10 the final whatever games, and Sally Donegan just whipped my ass and came up and won. It was really funny. I was leading going into the final week by 4 games on everybody else, and just tanked it the final week of the season. So you go enter at robincomrade.com, facebook.com/robincomrade. Lisa says none of us are going to win. Damn you, Lisa. Be nice, for God's sakes. Brock, the article he read was on The Athletic from Jason Kendall. By the way, our buddy Eddie Hicks, we worked together to put this shirt together. I'm going to put it back up on the screen here, and let's see if you guys can see it there. Come on. There you go. You see that right there? That's the idea that I came up with. And it's basically, let's see, come on. As I'm trying to show it to the YouTube folks. There you go. Rob Comrade and Kale 20 making podcasts great again. That is going to be, that's like our seasonal shirt. Generally, I come up with a shirt every season, and this is what I came up with this year. Normally, last year it was Keep Will Muschamp. This year, I come up with this. If you want a shirt like that, let me know. We'll get them. Eddie prints them for us. And he doesn't. We don't make any money off of it. We just like the idea of people having our shirt. So we can get that shirt for you. I know that Kale likes it, and I think Comrade didn't tell me if he liked it or not. Do you like the design there, Comrade?
Yeah, you sent me that, and I was in the middle of doing my actual other job, and I was busy, and I didn't have a chance to. You know when you think you text one back and you don't? In my mind, I texted you back like, that was awesome. And I realized I actually didn't send the actual text. So, yeah, I like it, though.
I get that.
Thumbs up.
Maybe the Comrade doesn't like it, and then maybe if he doesn't like it, then fuck it. We can't.
No, it was a crazy-ass day today.
Well, I think it's a really cool.
I get that a lot. I think people send me stuff and I don't respond, but mentally I did. Like, you didn't text me back. I'm like, I was fucking busy.
Well, there you go with that. Anyway, if you want one of these shirts, let us know. It doesn't,
I don't have time to do nothing but sit there and text on my ass all day long. I work for a living.
Jonathan Boatwright, filling podcasts with shit again. Thank you for that, Jonathan. But anyway, if you want a T-shirt, let us know. We'll get them to you. They're not expensive. Just you pay Eddie. Eddie ships it to you. There you go. So there you go with that.
And by the way, one more thing too. If you win the contest, you get the money, but you also get a T-shirt made by Eddie Hicks that shows you are the champion of the Callaway's College Pick'em Challenge. So you get a T-shirt, a championship T-shirt, some hardware, even though it's soft cloth, but still, you know what I mean. It's it's something you can wear around. So you get a T-shirt if you win as well, which I think is just as cool as the money. Well, the money is probably cooler, but still.
It's cool because nobody has these. So there you go with that. I mean, there's the only people that have them. I have one. Sally Donegan has one. Tabitha Sims has one. That's it. Now the Comrades passed, I know, but since we started doing the T-shirt, the Comrades
I'm kind of like Deacon Jones. Okay, Deacon Jones had like 400 million sacks, but they didn't start counting sacks when he played. Okay, same thing. When I won the 2 contests, we didn't give out T-shirts to the champion. So I'm kind of like the Deacon Jones. I'm the legend of the College Pick'em Challenge, but I have no shirts with it. Even though I told Eddie, shouldn't I get 2 shirts from back in the day? And he goes, oh, I'll have to ask Rob about that. And, of course, Rob goes, no, bastard. So I make my own damn T-shirt. Champion.
Jesus
Christ. I know he played football.
When are we going to be doing the SEC picks? Yes, Lisa, we forgot the penis trophy. If you finish dead last, you get a trophy that is shaped like a dick. It's not a joke.
Mickey Freeman trophy.
A Mickey Freeman trophy only shows up and is a dick when they do. There you go with that. So, yeah, we will
have to think for a minute who Comrade was talking about. He was saying Deacon Jones and sacks. I'm like, I didn't know he played football.
Slap.
And then for some reason, I don't know why, I had gotten Deacon Jones confused with Deacon, who was Doug's partner on King of Queens. He could have played football too, man. He was rangy.
Yeah,
that motherfucker was tall.
That was a good show. By the way, I do want to give a little shout out, but for you guys don't know, I'm a huge baseball fan. Some sad news tonight. Legendary pitcher Tom Seaver died tonight. New York. He's known as the franchise. He was sick for a while. He had dementia and Alzheimer's. I mean, he's known for the 1969 Miracle Mets. Last year, the Mets had a big anniversary celebration for it, and he didn't go to it because at that point, his family said that he basically was he didn't know who he was at that point, and they didn't want the fans to remember him that way, and so he stayed home, and he passed away tonight in California at age 75. So
he had a lot of good years with the White Sox too.
Yep, White Sox. He got traded to the Red Sox in '86 in a stretch run, but he got hurt for the playoffs. That was a big storyline. Will he pitch against the Mets in the World Series? But he, same rotation as Nolan Ryan too. A young Nolan Ryan in '69 with the Mets, and they won the World Series. Biggest upset probably in baseball history. The Orioles were loaded that year. The '69 Orioles are probably one of the best teams in baseball history. The Mets got them in that World Series, and they've been shit ever since. Well, '86 they were good, I guess. But Tom Seaver passed away, so sad night in the baseball world.
That's sad. Yeah, I can't go with that. Jonathan says, there's the reason I'm not playing in these contests, the phallic trophy. No, it's a penis trophy. It really is a penis. It's a
phallic
trophy.
Jonathan, you gotta be smarter than that. You ain't gonna get that thing, man. Come on.
You gotta just, as long as you'll be fine. Trust me.
Comrade, be honest. It is a penis.
Says it's cake drunk again.
It's a penis trophy. It's a real penis trophy.
What kind of cake are you talking about? Little Debbie's, Swiss rolls, wedding cake.
All right, I think we've rambled on and on. Do you want? Why don't we got to pick the SEC stuff too? We didn't do the SEC stuff. I forgot about that. We gotta do that on Sunday. We'll run through the SEC, and I guess we'll do Clemson's games on Sunday, and we'll knock it all out. So there you go. That's how we're gonna do it. All right. Do you have anything else for the show, brother? No,
I don't. I don't. Everybody, tune in on Sunday night, and I hope I'm not out of line by doing this. Those of y'all who join us over on Facebook, yes, the contest is on Facebook. If you have a YouTube account, how about do us a favor? It'd be nice for you view this podcast live recording over on YouTube. That helps us out a little bit.
There you go.
Give it a thumbs up. It gives a thumbs up. And we're not sitting here getting rich off this podcast. Okay, we're not making Uncle Lou money. Okay, we're scratching up enough quarters to maybe vacuum the damn truck out 1 or 2 times a month. That's about what we can make off this. But you don't make anything off of Facebook views. You're making a little something off the YouTube views and the advertiser money. So go watch it on YouTube if you're so inclined. That would be great and helpful. And I would really appreciate that. And none of the other 2 guys would as well.
Well, we appreciate the folks that watch on Facebook, but we haven't done it.
Yes, we do. And I'm not. I didn't mean to come off with that type of angle. If that's the way I came off, I apologize.
No. That's not what Kale meant. But
no.
Why don't we do something?
If you don't have a YouTube, you watch on Facebook all you want.
Why don't we do something like this up until Sunday's show? Let's have, if you are a Facebook listener, or even, if you're a YouTube listener, if you give a like to this video or share it, send us, how do we do this, comrade? I want to put everybody in a drawing, and we'll give an entry to the contest. We'll just do a drawing. We'll put everybody's name on the wheel and do an absolute, let the wheel decide who wins. If you share this page,
spin the wheel, make the deal match back at Starcade '93.
Exactly, and I tell you what, if you can send us a picture via Facebook Messenger or there you go.
Quick wrestling trivia for you there, Rob.
Sure.
Who was spin the wheel, make the deal match? Who was that? You remember who it was? It was Cactus Jack was one of the participants, and they were spinning the wheels to make the deal. And who was he wrestling? Do you remember that?
Sting.
No, it wasn't Sting. It was Vader.
No, well, Vader. Oh, that's
do
true.
you remember what it ended up winning?
Vader won, right?
No, I meant what match it ended up falling on.
I don't know. What was it? Wasn't it
dog! It was a Texas Death Match.
Texas Death Match. Like it.
Could you imagine having to wrestle Vader in a Texas Death Match?
I don't want to get in the ring with Vader at all. I tell you what, if you can tell me, comrade, how can we do this, man? We can find the likes on YouTube right here. We can find the likes on Facebook. If you like it, then just a simple like of the video. We'll put everybody in that likes it, and we'll do a drawing on Sunday. How's that sound, comrade?
That'll work.
There you go. If you like the video, especially on YouTube, we appreciate you. Appreciate you on Facebook too. If you share it, that's great too. But if you do either way, we'll put you all in a drawing on the wheel of uncertainty. There you go. Giggled, who's liking that? You got to like the video, man. So go and like the video on YouTube or like it on Facebook. There we go. Cale is leaving us, and I think with that, comrade, this show is a wrap.
Bye, guys.